If you can't explain it simply, you don't know it well enough. Albert Einstein. You have the power to be the boss of your own life. I'm your host, Monica Allen. I'm a wife, mom, entrepreneur, best-selling author, lifelong learner, and your biz bestie. I have a love and passion for all things small business. Growing my own company from $700 to over 7 figures annually, my goal is to bring you inspiration, business-focused topics and tips, encouragement, and a community that helps you launch, grow, and scale your business, whether you are a dreamer, a side hustler, or a seasoned entrepreneur. You are listening to the Become Your Own Boss podcast. Before I jump into this week's episode, I need for you to do something for me. I need you to take a moment to go over to Apple, Spotify, or whatever platform you listen to this podcast on and leave a 5-star review if this podcast is adding value to you and your business. That's it. If you could just take a moment to do that, that would be great. And I will be grateful. Thanks so much. Now, on to today's episode. Recently, I had a gentleman in our store, Zeus's Closet, that was ordering a polo shirt with his company's logo on it. When anyone tells me they own a business, I get really curious. So I asked him about his business. What does your business do? He said a few words to me, but I still had no idea what he did. So finally, I asked him, what is your 60-second elevator pitch? He didn't have an answer. And he told me I was putting him on the spot with a chuckle. But he said he was going to work on it. And thus, this episode idea was born. I recently joined BNI, which is also known as Business Network International. It is a global organization that helps businesses grow and make money through networking and referrals. I had heard of this organization many years ago and attended a meeting many years ago also. But it was brought back to my attention over the Christmas holiday by a friend of mine. So I've been going to these meetings now for about a month, and each meeting you have to give a 60-second elevator pitch. In the past, this is also something that we worked on in our company as a team because we wanted our team members to also understand how to tell people where they work and what they do in a clear and concise manner. When you have an effective elevator pitch, you're able to explain your business and people can add you to their mental Rolodex easily. This can help them do business with you in the future or help them refer someone else to you. So let's start with what is an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is a brief way of introducing your business and what you do in a very short period of time, typically 30 seconds or 60 seconds. The goal is for your elevator pitch to allow people to understand clearly what it is that you do or what your business does. And its purpose is to also hopefully evoke further conversation around what you do or what your business does. It is also called an elevator pitch because this is the amount of time it roughly takes you to ride an elevator with someone. So today we're going to talk about how do you craft an elevator pitch. I will use my pitch as an example as we walk through this. Now, this is how I craft my pitch. However, if you look online, there are many recommended methods for crafting a 60-second or 30-second elevator pitch. And you can do whatever feels most comfortable to you. But the goal is to have this pitch ready to go when you need it. And it's a good idea to have it ready when you're going to conferences, networking events, industry meetings, and really when anyone asks you what you do. As we work through this, remember the goal is for you to make sure someone can easily understand what your business provides. And I really want to emphasize the word easily. So your first step, you want to start with a hook. This comes after you introduce yourself, of course. The hook is going to be the compelling opening that grabs attention. And we've heard the word hook before. People tell you if you're going to do a reel on social media or you're going to do a video on TikTok, you want to begin with a strong hook because that stops the scroll. Well, it's the same when you're doing your elevator pitch. You want people to perk up with your hook. So for me, with Zeus's Closet, I start with, my name's Monica Allen with Zeus's Closet, where we're like a tattoo shop for your clothes. Well, we're like a tattoo shop for your clothes is our actual tagline for our business. So if you have an effective tagline, this could be your hook. Next thing you want to do is describe your product or service and how it addresses the problem you solve. Now, for me at Zeus's Closet, I go on to say we provide custom embroidery, screen printing, and direct-to-film for all types of garments. Next, you want to give a problem statement. So with the problem statement, you really want to clearly articulate the problem your business solves. And for me at Zeus's Closet, I like to really tweak this depending on my audience, or the great thing with BNI is that you're meeting weekly, so you can get very creative with your pitch, because if you have different areas you want to highlight during that week of your business, then that's your opportunity to insert that. So for example, I may say, you have a conference coming up and you don't have a polo shirt that's branded with your business information. Well, Zeus's Closet can get that done for you. Now, another step here is add a unique value proposition. The unique value proposition highlights what sets your business apart from your competitors, from the competition. And here you can give an example of what you've done for clients in the past. But what I like to do at Zeus's Closet for this part, say you need that polo quickly, your conference is on Friday, and you're coming to me on Tuesday, we can get that shirt done for you. So you represent your business when you go to that conference or networking event. So that's one of our unique value propositions. As I also mentioned, you can give an example of what you've done for a client in the past. Now, you want to be careful here because stories can get long and lengthy and rambly. But if you can keep your story short, then you can definitely interject this here. For example, I may tell the story of a young lady who came into the store who wanted to gift her husband with business logoed apparel for Father's Day. Or I may tell the story of the son who wanted to gift his mom with a custom monogram bathrobe. So I could put that story in there. Takes about an additional 15 seconds. And so you can adjust your pitch to do that as well. And again, crafting this portion of your pitch for the audience or the person you're speaking with. And lastly, depending on the audience, depending on who you're speaking with, you want to have a call to action. Now, this call to action could be exchanging business cards or exchanging contact information. This call to action may be different if you're in a setting where you're actually presenting. Your call to action may be complete this form or scan this QR code. It really depends on the setting. Typically, if you're in a networking event where you're one-on-one with someone, you're not going to tell them to fill out a form. But you may have them scan your QR code that's on your link card or whatever type of thing you use to share your contact information with people. Then you may want to do that. You may want to get their contact information so you can follow up with them. But you have to determine what that is for you and for your business. What's really cool, and this is not a ad for BNI by any means, but what I actually love about BNI is at the end of your pitch, you can actually say what a great referral is for you, because we're there to help refer businesses to each other. So your call to action is a great referral for me is someone who, for example, for me, someone who has a small business that needs logoed apparel, or someone who wants to gift their mom or dad with custom things for Father's Day coming up. So it depends, and we can even change ours from week to week because it depends on what you want to focus on for that week and allowing people to get to know your business better. So if you're in a situation like that where you're always having an opportunity to share your pitch, then you can make your call to action a little bit different each time because you probably offer more than one service within your business. So now you have the steps to craft your elevator pitch. You can write this down. You can put it in your phone. You can do whatever it takes to go through these steps to create this for yourself. But you really, really, really want to have this ready to share with people. When they ask what you do or what does your business do, you want to be able to just spill it and make sure, again, that is clear. Now, once you craft your pitch, there are some other steps to delivering your pitch. The first one is practice, practice, practice. It is important that you rehearse your pitch. And we've all heard the phrase practice makes perfect. And it may not be perfect, but it's going to be really, really good if you practice it. So practicing is vital. I practice mine in my car. I practice it on my way to my BNI meetings. I practice it often because I know that I can deliver it well if I practice. The next thing is you want to be flexible. Again, you want to be able to tailor your pitch for your audience. Depending on who you're with, if you're talking to an individual or you're talking to a group, you want to make sure that your pitch is tailored for those people. Next, you want to make sure you use simple, clear language. So avoid jargon. Don't use industry jargon unless you're speaking directly to people in the industry. Whatever your industry is, if you're going to use that jargon, then they need to actually understand it. If they don't use it. Next up, you want to keep it concise and focused. I mentioned it before. You don't want to ramble. When you ramble, you lose seconds, but as you're losing those seconds, you're also losing the person or the people. So you don't want to ramble. So keep it clear, concise, and focused. And then lastly, you want to be enthusiastic and confident when you deliver your pitch. Practicing, going back to that, helps with this. So again, practice your pitch. The quote at the top of the episode today states, if you can't explain it simply, you don't know it well enough. Well, truthfully, most of us know our businesses well enough. We know our businesses. But I picked this quote because you have to be able to pitch it, though, in a very simple way. You want to use simple words. Again, you don't want to use jargon. You have to know your business and truly know the problem you solve. Because if you know that, then you know how you can help your audience and you can get that down to a 60-second pitch. A few weeks ago, I had to give a 30-second pitch. I had to get my 60-second pitch down to 30 seconds. And I did it. I actually finished under 30 seconds, but it was because I practiced it beforehand. I wrote it beforehand. And so a lot of times we like to wing it. We think winging it is cool, and it can be if you're caught off guard. But when you have an opportunity and you know you're going to a networking event, you know you're going to a conference, you know you're going to run into people who you don't know, but you want to know, you want to be in their circle, then practice your pitch. Write it and practice it. Before we round out today, I want to give you an example of a complete elevator pitch that I may give. Let's say we've gotten past the introductions, we know each other's names, and somebody says to me, "What do you do?" My response may be, "Well, I own a retail store called Zeus's Closet where we're like a tattoo shop for your clothes. We provide custom embroidery, screen printing, and direct-to-film printing for all types of garments and more. If you're a small business owner and don't have branded apparel for you and your team, then you're missing out on a huge marketing opportunity. I've had people literally stop me and ask me, what do I do just based on my logoed shirt? You and your team wearing branded apparel gives you an opportunity to connect with potential customers or get possible referrals. Branded apparel for businesses is one of our specialties, and we require no minimums. We will do just one for you or for a team member headed off to a conference." So in that example, I give them a hook, but I also let them know a problem I solve, even though they may not even know they have a problem. They may not even know they have an additional marketing opportunity. Perhaps they've never even given it any thought. I also allow them to know that they can get it done without having to run huge quantities of polo shirts or t-shirts for their team. They can get just one, which is our unique value proposition. Now, of course, if you're having a conversation with someone, you don't want to sound robotic. You want the conversation to flow. You don't want to sound like you're just vomiting over them. But once again, the key is to be able to tell someone in a simple way so that they can understand what your business does. If you do not already have your elevator pitch, I want to charge you with taking the time to craft it. Keep it simple. I would love to hear what you all come up with for your elevator pitches. Again, the primary thing is that you want people to really understand what it is your business does. If you would like feedback on your pitch, you can actually go to the bottom of the show notes and leave me a voicemail. Or you can email me and I will be more than happy to help you with yours as well. We can even set up a time to have a call together. My email address is monica@monicaallen.com. Again, I'm here to help you with this. Thanks for listening today. I'm grateful for you. Again, take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. If you subscribe to the podcast, you will not have to go out and look for it each week. It will simply download to your phone. So make sure you subscribe as well. Now go off and work on those pitches. Remember, now is the time. Now is the time to level up, leave a legacy, and become your own boss.